It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz and Joe Martone in the building. You know, I can't keep track of whether the county commission is supposed to be here today or they were here last week or they're supposed to be here next week. I might need to put a calendar up.
Yeah, and use it.
You know, this whole radio thing's starting to cramp my style.
You have a style?
Not really.
Okay, just checking.
Not really.
Just check. Yeah, you have a style of your own.
Only for me.
You have your own drum.
I do.
And you go by the beat.
No, I don't even beat the drum. I just carry it with me.
Oh, wait, that's good. Yeah.
Well, I'm impressed. I'm going to show you my drum and watch how I beat my drum. Yes, I have it. It's a really tight-skinned one. Watch. It broke again.
How many voices?
Hey, here comes the sun.
How many voices you got in your repertoire?
I don't know. I never counted them.
You like Lon Chaney?
Oh, I wish. Yeah.
Man of 1,000 faces.
I wish I had 1,000 voices, but I can pick up, I can mimic for a little bit, but yeah.
I think the best one you do is probably
Rodney Dangerfield.
Nah, you do a pretty good Dangerfield, but I think the best voice you probably do is when you're doing an Irishman.
An Irishman?
Yeah.
An Irishman is a good one to do.
Yeah.
But there's all different types. You got the high-pitched one, the one that just stepped on a nail, don't you know? And then you got the lower one that doesn't know what he's doing because he hasn't been there before. The Irish joke, I always like to say, the shortest Irish joke. Remember now, I'm politically incorrect, so don't get mad at me. But it is the shortest Irish joke in history. An Irishman walked out of a pub. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. There's no chance they walked out of a pub. Stumbled, fell.
That's what I said. I've got a longer one if you like. I've got a long Irish joke. You know why that
is, though?
Why? Tell me what it is.
Jameson whiskey's so good.
Oh, it is what it is, don't you know? Don't you know? I see somebody walking this way. She got a smile. I don't know who that is, though. I don't know. Uh-oh. She better stop so the car don't hit her.
Well, there you go.
The car hit her, then she'd be crushed.
You know, how many times have we seen...
I think she works at the county commission. I'm not sure.
Oh, is it...
I don't know, but she got a smile on her face, and she's got her water. So in other words, she's going to really tell you what to do.
There she is. You know, she always makes her appearance. She may be a few seconds late, but that doesn't bother me. She always has a smile on her face. Every time she comes in, she has a smile on her face. And I wonder, is it she smiled because she's happy to be here? Or in her head, she looks at me and goes, there's that Schmitz kid again, and starts laughing. And it just comes out as a smile.
I don't blame her. I smiled when I looked at you, too, but that's gas.
Okay, you can go away now.
I can go away now? The professionals are in the house. The grown-ups came in, so I can leave now.
Yes.
Okay, it's all you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Commissioner Kathy Bryant joins us as she does every other Thursday, although she sent Alex last time.
I did. We had what did we have going on? I had a commitment.
I don't know. Alex is very informative.
Maybe we had a public hearing.
Alex is very well prepared.
You know what? Let me look at my calendar, and I will tell you where I was.
See, I don't have a calendar. That's how I didn't know whether it was the right week for you or not.
Well, so I have a calendar, but I will admit that I don't keep it. I learned early on that I handed everything through to our assistant because people would ask me to go places or come to something.
Yes.
And I would be like, okay, sure. And I had one time that it happened that it didn't make it on my calendar, and I was a no-show, and I was completely mortified. So at that point, I started having everyone call Nadja.
And Kathy erroneously said her assistant, Nadja runs the county.
There you go. Here you go.
Sometimes I don't know whether Nadja works for y'all or y'all work for Nadja.
You know what? I sometimes don't know who exactly I work for either.
We know you work for the people of Marion
County.
Work
for the people, but I tell people all the time, I say, I look at my calendar and I go where they tell me to go and I do what they tell me to do. And that's that. And I was, we had our Florida Association of Counties conference, legislative conference, and I sit on as the vice chair of the Finance and Tax Committee. So I was
unavoidably detained.
I was unavoidably detained.
You know, I saw Nadja recently at a public gathering.
You did.
And just not a county situation. I saw her actually at the opening of the new hotel downtown.
Yeah. Oh, downtown.
Right, downtown.
Okay.
She came out. She was on the terrace out there where we were all on the terrace. She walked up. I touched my girlfriend on the shoulder. She goes, "What?" I go, "See that lady right there?" She goes, "Yeah." I go, "That's Nadja. She's the most powerful person in Marion County." Nadja looked over at me and goes, "Hello, Tom." I go, "I've done nothing wrong."
Yeah, she's told me there's been a couple of times she's
she's had to put me in my place.
She's had to talk to you.
She has. She goes, "I know you have their cell phone numbers, but any scheduling needs to come to me, please." And I go, and it was, the reason is not so much calling you, it was my relationship that I have with some football playing guy, ex-football player that, you know.
Oh.
I was like, "But Nadja, most of the time we're talking about football." "No, you're not. I know he's coming to events and you've asked him to come." So.
Well, and I always hope that anytime that anyone asks me to do something, and when I ask them to call her, I hope that they always understand the reason why. And that's because I just want to make sure that whatever they're asking me to do actually makes it on the calendar. So
you don't miss it and are mortified again.
Yes. Oh, you have no idea. I eventually made it there, but it was like, but anyway.
So is the county ready for the holidays?
The county is ready for the holidays. We had our Bring the Harvest Home.
How did that go?
It was phenomenal.
Drive-through only this year. You didn't have to get out, nothing.
And that's how it is mostly every year. We'll have some people that like to get out of their cars and walk up. And so it was phenomenal. We collected a little over 13,000 pounds of food.
So 6.5 tons.
If that's what it equates to, then yes.
Well, it is 6.5 tons, a little over 6.5 tons of food.
And I have to really step up and thank our own Marion County Fire Rescue and the City of Ocala and Ocala Fire Rescue. Those guys and OPD, they really stepped up this year. Good morning, how are you? They really stepped up this year, not that they don't every year, but at the last minute we had to make a change in the logistics. And so they covered the whole thing, and they were there with smiles on their faces, and they were so efficient at everything they did. They were able to go ahead and separate everything to the 3 different organizations right then and there. So I just got an email from Interfaith and Brothers Keeper and Salvation Army, and they just all are so grateful to our community for the way that our community steps up each and every year.
You just don't think about, you think about the food banks and all, and people every year, the less fortunate that need food bank. This year, the less fortunate may have been somebody that made $60,000 last year, because with the COVID shutdown and everything, it has really, really changed who the needy are and who the not needy are, because people who, especially in the restaurant and service industries, bartenders and servers, people think that bartenders and servers, they don't take it in credit. You get a good bartender or a good server at the right establishment, they can make $60,000, $70,000 in a year. Well, you shut those things down for 2.5 months. I think we were shut down. The governor shut them down totally for 2.5 months. That could hit you $25,000, $30,000 in the pocketbook. I don't care who you are. You lose $25,000, $30,000 in 2.5, 3 months. Even if you're a person who makes it into where you don't live paycheck to paycheck, you go without $25,000 for 2.5 months. You're in the same dire straits that the less fortunate are in every year.
Well, and we've been very fortunate here in Marion County. I was just having this conversation with someone the other day. We've been very fortunate that with the CARES Act money, we've been able to help a lot of those people that were affected, by the shutdown. A lot of our small businesses, we've been able to help them. And there are certainly some people that have been affected, but excuse me. I am not sick.
You got a hummingbird in your throat there.
I have a dust in my throat. Anyway.
She come racing across the parking lot, folks.
I did. And so anyway, we were talking about it. what is going to happen after the first of the year right here in Marion County economically is going to be absolutely phenomenal. We have not slowed down at all. And so I said, and with everything else that's happening in the world around us, we have been so blessed that we kind of are in our own little, I call it my Marion County bubble. And I love living in my Marion County bubble because a lot of the things that you're seeing that's happening around our nation isn't happening here. Do you know that we have 150 people a week moving to Marion County?
I'd heard that. I talk to Kevin Sheely on a regular basis.
150 people a week.
Yeah.
So, the one thing that I do say when people tell me that, they're like, do you get worried? I'm like, no, because those people are moving here because of our low tax base and our conservative values. And I am going to trust that they want to keep it that way as well, because that's why they're coming here.
100%. Let me ask you the questions on everybody's mind.
Uh-oh.
Vaccines are being shipped out, and people, you hear that they're coming to Marion County. Do we have a schedule for when they arrive and who gets the vaccines first?
Okay, so the way that it stands right now, 180,000 doses of the Pfizer vaccine were distributed to the state of Florida. Almost 100,000 of those went directly to 5 pilot hospitals in Jacksonville, Tampa, Orlando, and Miami to vaccinate frontline healthcare workers.
Certainly.
Another 60,000 or so are for a federal partnership with CVS and Walgreens to administer vaccines in long-term care facilities. And the other 20,000 are being administered by the Florida Department of Health in long-term care facilities in Broward and Pinellas County. Now, I did receive an email, and let me go back to it, this morning, and I want to make sure that I say it correctly, so that's why I'm going to go to my email, that Governor Santos did announce the distribution plan for the allocation of the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine.
Which the FDA is probably going to approve today.
And Advent Health and Ocala Regional are on the distribution list for the Moderna vaccine next week. We don't have all the information.
And you don't have to keep it as cold either. It doesn't take the kind of temperature that the Pfizer vaccine takes.
Correct. And so, the vaccines are getting out there now. When they'll be distributing them to the general public, we don't have that timeline yet. And I'm sure that we can all agree that, it's important for our frontline healthcare workers to be protected first because we need them.
Certainly.
And we need them healthy. And anyway, so it's good news.
You hear about leaders in different places all over the country that are contemplating legislation or ordinances to require vaccination. Is that something that Marion County is even looking at?
No, we haven't talked about anything like that.
If you want to take the vaccine?
Well, it's just like with the mask mandate. You know, we had some groups that came to us and they wanted us to mandate mandatory mask wearing within Marion County.
Yeah, but you got that pesky little thing called the Constitution that gets in the way.
Right. Well, and here's the deal. We're all adults. We're all should need to be personally responsible for our behaviors.
100%.
And, for some people, it's very difficult for them, especially if you think about our hearing impaired. Do you know how hard the whole mask thing is for the people who
can't hear because they can't read lips either because the mask are covering them up?
Correct.
100%.
So,
what about, I got asthma. Do you know how hard it is for me to breathe
difficult
with a mask on?
Yeah. And there are some people that it doesn't bother at all. I have an aunt, she wears one all the time and she says it doesn't bother her. I will tell you, for me, I do, I do what the city has asked. They've made a mask mandate. So when I go into places, I generally have my mask on, but I can't breathe with it on either. And I get a headache within about 45 minutes to an hour.
Because you're breathing carbon monoxide back in.
So anyway, I guess what it really, And the social distancing aspect of it, to me, that's more important than any of
100%
it.
more important.
That's more important. Washing your hands, staying home when you're sick,
And staying 6 feet from people.
and doing your social
I don't like
distancing.
people, so it's easy for me to stay 6-8 feet from them.
It's hard sometimes, because look, I'm a hugger.
You are. You're a
I'm a
big
hugger. I'm a
And
hugger.
So this pandemic's hitting you
It's
hugging
really,
hard.
really been hard. I see somebody I haven't seen in a long time. I want to give them a hug.
Another question. There was a New York Times article that kind of called Marion County out about how our hospital beds are jammed to capacity and everything.
What?
This was last week. Said Marion County, hot spot in Florida, that our hospital beds were about, at capacity. Then I did a little research and found out that of the 88 ICU beds, 84 of them were filled, but only 10 of them were filled with a COVID patient.
Right.
The other 74 were filled with, people that had heart surgery and stuff. And out of the 893 people that were hospitalized in Marion County, I think what is right now COVID hospital at that time it was only like 83 people were hospitalized with COVID.
Our hospitalizations are not out of the roof. Dr. Singer made his presentation to the board on Tuesday, and while we have seen, we did see an increase in cases. The week prior, we were at 11% positivity. We've started to go back down to 9% positivity, and we attribute that probably to Thanksgiving gatherings.
Certainly.
And so, no, you know what? Maybe whoever wrote that article for the New York Times needs to do a better...
Needs to come to Marion County.
Well, I don't think they need to come to Marion County. They probably should stay up there.
Probably.
But they probably need to do better research and better journalistic reporting.
Yeah, because all they were talking about were how full the hospitals were and how full the ICUs were, without any regard to why they were full. It wasn't COVID, but they insinuated it was COVID to make us look like bumpkins or something. I don't know. I just didn't know if you were aware of that. It was the most ridiculous article.
I saw a headline come through, and I just thought I saw Florida, and I didn't read it. See, this is where also...
Oh, it did say Florida, but in the article, it pinpoints Marion County.
I see things like that, and I just a lot of times don't read them because I don't want my blood pressure to go up.
Yes.
I don't know if I told you, I had to go on blood pressure medicine.
Uh-oh. Well,
I went off of it. I'm really trying
Yeah.
diet and exercise, so we'll see what happens.
I had a doctor when my blood pressure was high. I said, I need blood pressure medicine. He says, no, lose weight, fat boy. That's what he told me. Now, you don't have that problem.
Oh,
but I do.
Contraire, mon frere.
Hey, I got to talk to you about something that's a personal thing, but I have to talk to you. I've stayed away from it.
Uh-oh.
But I have to talk to you because there is a walkathon coming up in January in the honor of our late police chief, Greg Graham, that's going to take place. How great is it to see the community coming together and going to keep the legacy of Greg Graham in our hearts and in our minds through situations like this, to keep his recovery program for opioid addiction in the forefront? How great is it to see our community do that?
It's really an honor and a privilege to be able to be a part of that committee. And
Angie Clifton doing a great job with
Angie's doing a great job, and I have to really, you gotta say kudos to Ben Marciano thing.
Doing a great job
This
as well.
was his brainchild, and called everybody together, and they've dedicated, the
Treadmill number 12.
at Zone. That's where Greg always ran. To this and to Greg, there's actually a plaque on the treadmill, and they're actually going to use that treadmill, and there's been such community support for it. And the thing that we're trying to do is build up that foundation so that it will live in perpetuity, and every year there will be funds available to possibly help someone who needs to go through treatment.
I talked with someone real close to this situation last night. I won't say anyone's name, but I'll tell you off the air who I talked to, that said you'd be amazed at the money that's already been raised.
Absolutely.
And then they told me the number,
Yeah.
and I went, holy.
Yeah.
And then a word came out that you can't say on the radio, but
Thank you.
because I just didn't realize that before this event even starts, how much has already been raised for it. And by the way, Blood One is doing a blood drive this weekend on the 18th, tomorrow. in honor of the late Chief Greg Graham too. So just probably one of the 3 or 4 nicest people I'd ever met in my life. And so to see people in this community understand the legacy that he created and that it needs to continue, kudos to everybody involved. We're going to get Angie Clifton on here to talk about this event because I think everybody in Marion County should try to come out for this event. It's going to be a great, great time. And it wouldn't hurt me to walk a little bit. It wouldn't hurt me to walk a little bit. What's coming up for the county in the new year?
Oh, wow.
We only got about 2 minutes, so you don't have the...
There's going to be a lot coming up for the county in the new year. Like I said, we'll have some pretty big announcements in the first quarter.
Come on, Kathy, tell me now.
No, I'm not.
Look, I'll keep a secret. I can keep a secret.
Okay, we are on air. It will not be a secret. I'm going to make you wait because
that's a good
let me
point.
tell you, there are some very, very exciting things happening for Marion County. We're just all fortunate and blessed, in my opinion, that we live right here in Marion County.
We have a very diversified economy now.
We have a very diversified economy, and I'm so very proud of that.
We literally got caught with our proverbial pants down.
Yes, we
in
did.
2007, 2008.
2010.
2009, 2010.
January 2010.
New commissioner was taking over.
No, I was running for office.
You were running for
and
office
that
when
was
it
my
happened.
platform. Jobs, 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 and diversifying our economic base. We were at 14.3% unemployment in January of 2010.
Yeah, I remember. I was part of that unemployment. I remember. Hey, can you do me a favor next time you go out to the Amazon Chewy area and everything?
I'll
Will
try.
you do me a big favor?
I'll try.
Tell Amazon to fix the N.
To fix the
It goes
N.
Amazon.
Oh, is there N
The
gone?
N's gone.
Oh no! Wow. Well, they might have just heard that. Somebody might hear that.
I drove by it yesterday. The N's gone. It's not turned. It's not light blue like everything else. It's just a light bulb problem, probably.
Interesting.
Yeah. So.
Well, so since we've only got another minute or two,
Yeah, we got about 45 seconds.
let's round this out. So on the behalf of the Marion County Board of County Commissioners, we wish you and your family a very happy holiday season and a Merry Christmas. This year has been challenging, to say the least.
The very least.
And I am looking forward to some downtime so I can rest and rejuvenate and get ready to hit the ground running for 2021.
Look, you should have downtime every time you go home. Chad should do whatever it takes to make you happy every time you get home.
Chad is wonderful. Hours are long sometimes, though, and so there's not enough of it.
Kathy Bryant from the Marion County Commission. Commissioner Bryant, thanks so much for joining us. See you in the new year.
I'll see you in the new year.
Well, actually, it'll be, because you won't be here the 31st,
Nope.
New Year's Eve, because I won't be here.
No.
WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Is getting closer to a